possessed of southerly colors, reckoning spin. As ever, N. One other poem, one other piece, letter from Base Cathedral. One of the things that happens in Volume 3 is comic strip balloons, speech balloons begin to emerge from the musicians' instruments. They come out and there are words written in them. And this continues to happen, you know, and the balloons are a source of a good deal of query and consternation, especially among the band members who really can't quite make out what's going on. And they have mixed feelings about them. One of the things that happens is that people see these balloons, but attempts to photograph them or film them fail. Although people do attest, yes, we saw that, it was there. But cameras don't seem to be able to pick up the balloons. One of the things that happens in the course of Base Cathedral is that the balloons begin to appear in certain instances without words inside. And people take it to be the appearance of this spirit, Bloon, B''L''O''N, him or her itself. And in the course of one of the dateless letters, in which a kind of alter ego of N writes in a sort of trance-like state that N is subject to, shattered cowrie shell attacks that sometimes call it onset of dizziness and then a kind of weirdness that lasts for days. Kind of automatic writing it seems to have been. But in the course of one of the letters that this alternative N writes, his name is Dredge, D-R-E-D-J. He draws a picture, a sketch of Bloon. I didn't know I was going to read this letter, so I didn't come prepared, so I don't have the, you know, like a projection of it that I could show you, which is about as high-tech as I ever get. And we didn't have time to get Xeroxes of it, so some of you who are close enough can see this drawing of Bloon. And those of you who are not close enough will have to buy the book. Anyway, it's called, the drawing is called, the Dredge labels it Mute Stereoptic Emanation, Bloon, composite sketch based on eyewitness accounts. Anyway, in one of the letters, N talks about the sketch, and particularly in relationship to Kirlian photography. Dear Angel of Dust, what if someone succeeded in photographing one of the balloons and it came out looking like the sketch of Bloon Dredge drew and wrote about? What if the photograph looked less like a photograph than a sketch, exactly like a sketch? Not the fleshed out figure presumably adumbrated by the sketch, but exactly the photograph of a sketch. I haven't been able to shake the feeling these past few days that Dredge might have been onto something. I've been unable to help thinking that Dredge laid a hand on the balloon's essence and that such a photograph would also capture it, render it exactly the same way. It would be analogous to Kirlian photography, the shot, though, not of aura, but of aura's atrophy or abstraction, aura's exit at mechanical apprehension's behest. Such apprehension, including automatic hand, Dredge's hand, captures intimacy with caricature, the risk it unavoidably runs. Dredge I've come to understand as a quasi-Kirlian extremity or extension, automatic tactility's inkling of a beyond, an automatic itch to be or to go beyond itself. I don't know why, but I've been obsessed with the sense that the balloon's inmost crux, an animating entity or idea, looks exactly the way Dredge drew it. That, short of automatic seizure, any claim to have put pen to paper and laid a hand on Bloon draws back a nub. Automatic or manual seizure, it seems to me more and more, makes the hand a graphic shade of itself, a shadow athwart bodily reach. You've got your doubts, I imagine. Maybe there's no such essence or inmost crux as I'm attributing to the balloons. Maybe, even if there is, there's no way of capturing it. Entranced, automatic hand notwithstanding, Cowrie-commanded hand notwithstanding, Conch-commanded hand, if that's what it ultimately was, notwithstanding. Reach's wish to go beyond itself speaks raggedly, I admit. Graphic default's frayed horizon, say's way of admitting unsay. It may, I admit, be no more than wishful thinking, say's way of having its way or of having it both ways, to believe Dredge's drawing touched on inquisite truth, ingenuous truth, Bloom's true knowing, naive self. Dredge may well be just another chapter in a very long dream of automatic probity, but these past few days I've been unable to see it that way. It's a bit of a stretch to see it otherwise, a bit of a reach, but that's my point. Did Dredge's hand deliberately, however automatically or ingenuously, stretch credibility to bestow an apt ineptitude upon the sketch, a fittingly suspect sketchicality, limiting a fittingly inflated claim? Bordering on tautology to avow an avoidance of tautology, it seems to say, or to want to say, that truth is an identity or similitude so much as deep-seated sleight of hand, as though a deep-seated trickster twitch unsteadies all effort to gauge, grasp, or take hold, a deep-seated sketchical hedge allotting gestural suggestion, suspect largesse. What if soul to the inscribed balloon's body, spirit to the inscribed balloon's letter, the sketch were a pneumatic outline shadowing auto-inscriptive hush? Doesn't Dredge's drawing rightly shush its own claim, a claim it thereby leaves to the Curlianish camera I've been wondering about? Just a quick note. More later. I'm on my way out the door to rehearsal. Yours, Ian. And let me finish with a return to poetry. This from a new volume called Nod House, which continues the weave of Mu and Song of the Andumbulu. This is a poem in the Mu series called Day After Day of the Dead. While we're alive, we kept repeating. Tongues, throats, roofs of our mouths bone dry. Skeletons we'd someday be. Panicky masks we wore for effect, more than effect, more real than we'd admit. No longer wanting to know what soul was. Happy to see shadow, no touch. Happy to have sun at our backs, waylaid by shadow. Happy to have bodies, block light. Afternoon sun lighting leaf, glint of glass, no matter what. About to be out of body, it seemed. Soon to be shadowless, we thought, said we thought, not to be off guard, caught out. Gray morning we meant to be done with, requiem so sweet we forgot what it lamented, teeth turning to sugar, we grinned. Day after day of the dead we were desperate, dark what the night before we saw lit, bones we'd eventually be. At day's end a new tally, but there it was, barely begun, rock the clock tower let go of, iridescent headstone, moments rebuff. Soul we saw, said we saw, invisible imprint. No one wanted to know what soul was. Day after day of the dead we were deaf, numb to what the night before we said moved us, fade lights coded locale. I fell away, we momentarily gone, deaf but to brass's obsequy, low brasses croon begun.